Jack braced himself against the rocks on either side with his limbs, then slowly inched his way down. He wanted to pass through this narrow crevice, but just at that moment, the rock supporting him suddenly slipped, and Jack lost his balance and fell. Jack landed safely at the bottom, but his right hand was trapped by a falling rock. Staring at the massive boulder before him, Jack felt a wave of despair. This was the Grand Canyon, a place devoid of people. If he didn't free his hand quickly, he would be trapped here and die. So he mustered all his strength to pull his hand out, lifting with all his might, ramming his shoulder forcefully and kicking relentlessly with his feet. But no matter how hard he tried, the boulder trapping him remained unmoved. The hope of escape was slowly fading away. Jack leaned against the cliff wall in despair. After resting for a while, he came back to his senses. Now was not the time to give up. He unscrewed his water bottle and took a big swig, thinking he would replenish his energy before continuing. But halfway through drinking, he suddenly stopped. The water in the bottle before him was his hope for survival. He had to conserve it for drinking. Next, Jack carefully screwed the lid back on and calmed down to think about how to escape. He first took inventory of all the equipment on him, looking for things needed for escape. But to his disappointment, the only useful thing was this small knife. So he tried to use the knife to carve out a gap, but after chiseling for a long time, not even rock chips fell off. Even worse, the knife fell into the crevice below. Jack quickly bent down to pick it up, but couldn't reach it due to his limited movement. He took off his shoe, found a stick, then used his toes to grip it and fish the knife out. Finally, he hooked the small knife and brought it up, but now he found the blade had dulled. With no other choice, he could only use it to grind. From daytime to late at night, Jack's mouth was parched. Up to now, he hadn't had a drop of water. He carefully unscrewed the bottle cap, then gently took a small sip, savoring it in his mouth. His legs were about to give out from standing for so long. He had to think of a way. Taking out his climbing rope, he kept throwing it up until it finally caught on a protruding rock. Then he tied the other end around his waist to distribute his body weight. He could finally rest for a moment. Jack dreamed he had broken free. Startled awake from the dream, Jack found himself still in the same spot. Checking the time, only 5 minutes had passed, but Jack was no longer sleepy. After that, he took out his small knife and continued his path of survival. He kept chiseling like this until the next morning, but unfortunately, still had no results. As the first rays of morning sun shone into the canyon, Jack carefully touched them. The warm feeling once again gave him hope to live on.